Friday we did solving systems by graphing. Today we are going to do solving systems by using substitution. When you solve a system, there are three possible types of answers. You can have infinite solutions, you can have no solution, or most often you have a solution that is 1 point. And these are the steps to solving by substitution, and I will demonstrate those steps. You have two equations and you choose the one that's easiest to solve for a variable. This is easiest to solve for a variable, so I put this one in the first column and the last column, and this one I haven't used yet, I put in the middle column. This is already solved for y, so I don't have to do anything to it. In place of this y, I am going to substitute the number 2 in place of the y because the 2 is equal to the y. I put a 3 out in front. That's that 3 right there. X plus 3, that's in place of the y. And then I solve this for x. Subtract 6 from both sides, and x equals 8. This one's already solved for y, so I don't have to do anything else. This is 8. This is 2. That is the solution point. It doesn't really matter on this problem which one you choose. They're both solved for y, so I chose this one to be in my first column and my last column, and so this one was in my middle column. And so this is already solved for y, so in place of this y, I'm going to put the 6x minus 4 because that's equal to the y. This is equal to the y. And then I am going to solve that for x. I'm going to add 2x to both sides. 8x minus 4 equals, cancel, cancel, 28. Add 4 to both sides. 8x equals 32. Divide both sides by 8. And x is equal to 4. Now, in place of this x, I'm going to substitute that 4 that I just found. The y, the 6, in place of the x, I put a 4, and that's the minus 4 at the end, and I need to solve this for x. Solve this for y. I already have x. 24 minus 4, so y is equal to 20. The solution point is 420. It appears to me that this one would be easiest to solve for x because there is no coefficient in front of the x. So I put that one in my first column and my last column, and then I put the other one in the middle column. I need to solve this for x. I am solving it for x because x is easier to solve for than y in this problem. That is what x is equal to. So, in place of this x right here, I am going to substitute this expression because it is equal to x. I am substituting in place of x, and I still have the 3 out in front. I still have the 5y equals 2. In place of this x, I put this part right here that was equal to x. Now I have to distribute. That was a minus 12 plus 5y equals 2. Combine like terms. Add 12 to both sides. Divide both sides by negative 7, and that is what y is equal to. So over here, in place of this y, I'm going to substitute the 2 that I just figured out in the previous part. And so I'm going to have x plus 4y, but in place of y, I'm going to put the negative 2 that I just figured out, and I'm going to solve it for x. X minus 8 equals negative 4. Add 8 to both sides, and x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4, and y is equal to negative 2, so my solution point is 4, negative 2. In problem number 5, I chose this one to start with, and I'm going to solve it for a. I chose that one because a does not have a coefficient in front of it. And so I put that one in my first column and my last column, and this other one that I haven't used yet is going to go in the middle column. I am going to solve for a. I'm solving for a because a is easiest to solve for. So in place of this a, I'm going to substitute minus 22 plus 3b because that's equal to a. I'm going to have the 4 out in front, and I'm going to have plus 2b equals negative 4. Distribute. Combine like terms. Solve for b. Divide both sides by 14. B is equal to 6. So in place of the b, I'm going to substitute the 6 that I just figured out. I'm going to solve this for a. A minus 18 equals negative 22. Add 18 to both sides. A is equal to negative 4. And when we put our solution point, we put them in alphabetical order. So A is going to come first, and B is going to be next. Last, we have a word problem. The perimeter of a rectangle is 24 meters. The width is 30 less than 5 times the length. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. Dimensions means to find the length and find the width. And so we're told in our problem that this perimeter here is equal to the number 24. So that's our first equation. The width is 30 less than 5 times the length. That's our second equation. So in place of this W, I'm going to substitute this part right here because that is equal to W. 5L minus 30 is going to go in place of the W, and so I am going to have 24 equals 2L plus 2, and this is substituted in place of W. So I am going to solve this by distributing minus 60. And so I am going to combine like terms. I'm going to add 60 to both sides. And so that's going to get me 74 equals 12. Well, not 74. If I add that correctly, that is going to be 84 equals 12L. If I divide both sides by 12, L, the length, is going to be equal to 7. It says find the dimensions. That means the length and the width. So we know the width is equal to 5L minus 30. So in place of this L, I am going to put that 7 I just figured out. So the width is going to be 35 minus 30. The width is going to be equal to 5. There's the width and there's the length. There are my two dimensions. Worksheet 6.1 and Worksheet 6.2 will be due on Tuesday.